Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another very exciting episode of Guapish. Hang on. Not Rule 34? What? What happened? What is this brand new Guapish we found ourselves into? That's right, we're dropping the Rule 34, and we are having a very fun episode today, where I am being joined by our resident Trotsky apologist, Tanner.
That's right, guys. Listen, if you really think about it, I don't know anything about Trotsky.
And we've also got our champagne socialist himself, Jackson.
I'm actually drinking a bottle of it right now. I'm so fucked up.
Jackson, can you tell me what champagne is?
It's some form of alcohol. It's like sparkling alcohol.
It is carbonated wine, yes.
Particularly, it's supposed to be from the Champagne area of France, otherwise it's not real champagne. And we've also got our cultural moral relativist, Dylan.
I am only one of those things, and probably none of them all at the same time.
He is a cultural, but not a relativist.
Yeah. And today, guys, we have a very fun politics-fueled episode for you. I hope you're excited. We are going to be talking about the most politically charged subject we possibly can, trading cards. That's right, we're doing another Yu-Gi-Oh video, boys. Same format as last time. I hope you enjoy it. Boys, I've got 4 cards for you. I'm going to be asking you their names, and you're going to be determining which one is fake. First up here, we have got the very popular Blue Eyes cards. There are a lot of these, and some of them have wacky-ass names. So, which of them is fake? Is it Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, Blue Eyes Forever Spark Dragon, Blue Eyes Solid Dragon, or Azure Eyes Silver Dragon?
I'm gonna go Azure Eyes Silver Dragon is the fake one.
I'm going Blue Eyes Forever Spark Dragon. I don't know what the fuck Dylan said. I'm going option 2.
I'm going
Okay.
Blue Eyes Solid Dragon.
We're all
Okay.
going different.
Yeah, all different. And one of you are correct, too.
Crazy.
Yeah, fun fact. As per usual, Jackson is starting
Dude,
off
what the
pretty well
fuck?
with a point on the board.
There's no way. I knew that Azure Eyes Silver Dragon was a card, and I knew Max Dragon was a card. I didn't know Solid Dragon was a card. What?
Oh, yeah. It's not
Forever
very good.
Spark Dragon, it sounds dumb as fuck.
It does, but like
I knew
don't
that
know.
Chaos Max Dragon was one of them.
Yeah.
And I was pretty sure about Solid Dragon as well, but it was a toss-up between Azure, so I assume that one was the fucking red herring.
damn. Oh well.
Well, fantastic work, boys. Already got a point on the board. Better than the last time.
True.
Now, you know. Blue Eyes is, of course, very popular. One may even call it the face of Yu-Gi-Oh! But we've also got Dark Magician, who's
Hell
equally
yeah.
as popular and also has a fuckload of different retrains. So, is it Vanta Magician All-Consuming Darkness, Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, Legendary Magician of Dark, or the Dark Magicians?
I'm gonna go Vanta Magician All-Consuming Darkness.
Okay.
I'm also going Vanta Magician All-Consuming Darkness. That sounds like some shit that Mega Man would say.
Yeah, it's either that or some fucking Legendary Magician of Dark, but Vanta sounds more stupid, so I'm gonna go with that one as well.
I just know Nico is really obsessed with the concept of Vanta Black.
Have I ever mentioned Vanta Black to any of you?
I don't remember.
I think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, congratulations, guys. You all got it correct.
Let's go!
Or not.
Yeah. Excellent
Yeah, there it is.
work.
Jesus. 3 levels out of monsters. What the fuck? That's outrageous to say the least. Oh my god. Good lord. What is he? Is he even good?
I mean, you know, none of these cards are particularly good. One of them also isn't legal, so...
That's interesting.
Yeah. Alrighty, next up here, boys. We have some very fun superheroes that you're going to be checking out. So, are we looking at Junior Hero Dynaguy, Evil Hero Toxic Bubble, Elemental Hero Electrum, or Vision Hero Adoration?
What?
So, the hero archetype is the largest in the game. It is so large as sub-archetypes, like the ones you see here.
Gotcha. 2 of these I know are real, which helps, but...
What are they?
I'm not telling you. The unfortunate bit... Dude, why would I give my competition an edge, dude? That'd be fucked up.
I'm actually pretty sure I know this one. And I'm pretty sure the fake one is Dynaguy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go evil hero toxic bubble is the fake one.
Okay, Tanner took the other one I thought could be fake. I'm gonna go with vision hero adoration, because that's the other one that sounds stupid.
Gotcha. Tanner, was there anything in particular about toxic bubble that led you to think that one?
It's the only one that's 4 words instead of 3.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were thinking of like the dirty bubble from SpongeBob. Either way, it wasn't correct. Good job, Jackson. It was Gyna Guy.
Damn it,
Isn't
dude.
isn't that some fucker from The Incredibles?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
was like, I fucking
motherfucker.
thought I knew that.
That's fucked up.
Great work,
Who
dude.
the hell's adoration? Of course, it's the first one I click on. What the? Okay, cool. Why is Jackson so fucking good at this? I don't understand. I feel like you give him the answers.
There's something about him. He just knows how I would name a fake creature, I guess.
I guess
I
so.
live with him. I'm just in his fucking walls.
Yeah.
Actually, I got my camera, and I made this joke last time. I got my camera set up in Nico's room. It's pointed at his monitor again.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
You can see me touching myself right now to Electrum.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
look at his artwork, by the way. What is going on there?
He's got such long limbs.
He has crazy proportions.
He's the ideal man.
Why does his upper torso have so many abs on it? I don't
I
understand.
like how he's wearing a thong, which implies that all the yellow is actually his skin.
Yeah, of course. What's so weird about that?
He's a fucking freak. Speaking of freaks, I know that y'all are freaks, considering it, we may call you a bunny ear enthusiast, Bunzilla, Malice P, White Rabbit, or Gizmek Inaba, the hopping hare of Hakuto.
Hold on a fucking
Bunny
second.
ear enthusiast? What?
These ones are all rabbit themed.
Dude, I'm gonna go with Malice, I guess. That's, for some reason, that's the one that stands out, and I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Okay.
What the Gizmek Inaba, the hopping hare? You wouldn't have made that shit up. I'm really tossing up here between Bunzilla and bunny ear enthusiast.
I really don't think you're... I really don't think the logic...
Gizmek Inaba, the hopping hare of Hakuto, there's no fucking way he'd make that shit up. I don't buy it.
I've said this before. I'm not gonna, limit to what he can and cannot make up. I think that's the entire point of this contest, so...
Dude, there's some skill involved in making those assumptions, though, so I'm using my,
He's
I'm
a
using my
creative
thought
young
process.
lad, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm just gonna go with my initial guess of bunny ear enthusiast, because I think it sounds funny. And I hope it's real.
I'm gonna go Bunzilla just because when I heard it, it immediately made me think of Banuncula.
Oh, okay. What the fuck is that?
I'm not sure. I think it's a popular comic or something.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Well, good job, Tanner. Whether or not I knew what that was or not, you got it. Great
Damn.
work. Bunny ear enthusiast is real. She even has bunny ears, so that's
Damn,
fun.
look at that. That's, yeah, pretty cute.
What the fuck? They've
Oh,
got,
yeah.
they've got
Ooh.
why do they have, toe indents for their boots? They're wearing, fucking, soulless shoes, but they have soles. Very strange. Mouse is
Yeah.
cute, though.
Dude, yeah, I was gonna say Malice got some cute fucking art. I love that shit.
She
Oh,
looks
yeah.
she looks like a fucking, Year of the Rabbit Chinese New Year Miku design.
That is
I can see
valid,
it, yeah.
actually.
Yeah, she based off of a whole archetype. What word am I trying to think of right now? Alice in Wonderland. That's what it is. They're all Alice in Wonderland themed. She's the rabbit.
That makes sense.
What's the P for?
I don't know.
Okay.
You got me there, dude.
They just think it looks cool.
Bunzel's
Yeah, I guess
silly,
so.
though. I like that.
Yeah, something else that you're well renowned for liking, Dylan, is math. You're a big math guy, so let's see if you're able to do the equation and figure out which one of these cards is fake. Is it linear equation cannon, damage equals reptile, vinculum equadius, or math mech sigma?
Math Mech Sigma?
I also... that one does sound a little suspicious. I'm gonna go with that one then, actually.
I'm in between Vinculum Equadius and Damage equals Reptile.
Nah, dude, damage equals reptile is goated. Don't you fucking say a word about damage equals reptile.
I'm gonna go with Vinculum Equadius.
Why that one?
It just sounds like one of those memes where like you make up Harry Potter spells by adding and eus to the end of English words.
I can see that.
That's fair, dude. I don't know, Math Mech Sigma sounds not real at all.
So are you going with that one then?
Yeah, that's what I said I was picking.
All right, cool. Jackson, I don't remember what you said. Which one are you picking?
I haven't said anything. Honestly, this is
Okay.
I think it could be anything except for Mathmech Sigma. I'm stuck between the top 3 personally.
That's crazy. I think the fact that you're stuck on the top 3 and automatically rejecting Mathmech Sigma means it's Mathmech Sigma.
That'd be really fucking funny if it was.
I'm just saying, dude. That's how my brain flopped that.
I don't fucking know. I guess I'll go damage equal reptile. I can't conceptualize what the fuck that would be.
Well, could it perhaps be a giant-ass fucking snake behind a dude on fire? Because that's what it is. Tanner, great work, dude.
Damn it. What the fuck
Dude, this is the first quiz of Nico's where I'm, like, actually doing very well.
Yeah, you're doing pretty darn good right now, man. Yeah, so fun fact, the vinculum is what the line between two fractions is called.
Really?
So, you know, you got like 1/4 or whatever, that line is the vinculum.
I don't remember. I don't know if I was told that in school.
I don't know why they would ever mention that.
I
Who
mean,
the fuck comes up with linear equation canon?
but
What
like,
the fuck is this?
here's the other problem with that, right? Is like, why would you make up a name for it if you don't want people to know what it is? That's a stupid ass. Anyway, let's move on.
I suppose so. Linear equation canon is also very funny because it just actually makes you do a fucking linear equation to figure out whether or not you can resolve its effect.
Oh, that's funny.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jesus, that's
Oh
fucking
my
weird.
gosh.
It's very silly. Yeah, there's an upgraded version of that one too. It's called like parallel equation canon or some shit that's like even more complicated but much more powerful too.
Jesus.
It's very silly.
Dude, I would run these cards in my deck. I think it would be very silly.
Oh yeah, faux show. Now, something that many of our viewers may not be aware of, but we talked about Final Fantasy a decent amount during the pre-guap, and as such, I thought it would be fun to include some Final Fantasy-related cards in this quiz here, such as Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle, Evastorm Bahamut, Too Far Gone Flan, or Mythical Beast Garuda.
I almost, for some reason, my brain started fucking. I'm gonna hold that thought.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Too Far Gone Flan.
Alright.
I'm gonna let Tanner answer.
The
Curious.
one that immediately stood out to me was Evil Swarm Bahamut. The problem is I don't know that Nico would spell it like this, but also like Bahamut is something that has come up in previous episodes of the podcast. So I'm gonna go Evil Swarm Bahamut. I'm confident it's not Too Far Gone Flan because I feel like Nico would pronounce it Flan.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the. Wait, okay, I'm fucking immediately second guessing myself. I was so confident in them. No, I'll just go with my initial guess of fucking Mythical Beast Garuda.
Okay. There we go. Well, guess what, Tanner? I would pronounce it flan, because that's what it was.
Oh, damn it. Look at the carbuncle.
Why are you saying damn it? You guessed that one, Dylan.
I forgot what I picked immediately. Ignore me. You acknowledged like Tanner, so I in my mind you said it like he got it right. That's
No,
me immediately.
no.
Let's go, dude. I know my
You got it,
Final
Dylan. Good
Fantasy.
job.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, in fact, that is how Bahamut is spelled in Final Fantasy, Tanner. I was gonna give you that piece of info, and then you just went and immediately locked in, so I wasn't gonna bother with it.
Garuda is far more part of the cultural mythos than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah. It is a, I think, Indian mythical creature sort of thing. I don't remember.
Dude, what the fuck is a carbuncle?
It's a little fox creature thing. It's very cute. I love them.
That is very clearly a rabbit.
It's not.
Those little creatures with like not special gems, precious jewels like on their head or whatever the fuck.
Also, like, Dylan, this is clearly a rabbit, not a fox. Like, you're fucking out of your mind.
This isn't the traditional one that I'm used to. The carbuncles I'm used to seeing have 3 tails and are more kitsune-like. This is not what I'm used to. Let me see if I can find something to show you. But, I mean,
hate
you can
how
call
Dylan
whatever you
likes
want.
using
but,
the word kitsune instead of just saying fox. I find it very pretentious.
who cares? Anyway, this is what a carbuncle is. There you go.
Fantastic.
It's fucked up that I typed in carbuncle in the gift thing, and I found the Yu-Gi-Oh one before the Final Fantasy one.
That's why I typed specifically Final Fantasy 14 carbuncle.
Well,
That's funny,
alrighty,
though.
boys. If a girl asks what your sign is, I sure hope you don't reply with any of these, such as Test Tiger, Zodiac Bunny Blast, Cucumber Horse or Brewster Rooster?
I'm going Brewster Rooster.
Okay.
Dude, I think I want to go Cucumber Horse. It's either that or Zodiac Bunny Blast.
Yeah, I'm in between Cucumber Horse and Brewster Rooster. I'll go Brewster Rooster.
All right.
Fucking copycat.
Holy smokes.
So, Dylan, you're saying Cucumber Horse?
I am.
Well, unfortunately, Dylan, Brewster
Damn.
Rooster is the fake card.
So funny. I couldn't imagine what a fucking Cucumber Horse is.
There it is. Alas,
Forfeit of
it exists.
That is so funny. I did imagine a horse as a cucumber, but for some reason as a single cucumber and not multiple cucumbers, and I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
Why is Zodiac Bunny Blast kind of a baddie?
Right?
Honestly,
She
though,
kind of got it going on.
And for some reason, when I heard test tiger, I imagined a tiger sitting at a desk taking a test. I don't
I like
fucking
how
know.
Test Tiger has, like, pant sleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very strange, quite frankly.
it's big in that whole question of if your dog wore pants, would it wear it like this or like this?
Yeah, but this is a whole new option where it's just, like, the cut off, like, leg parts.
There we go. We can add a third leg to the question now.
There we go. Yeah, the Zodiacs are fun. There's all the various fucking Chinese Zodiac creatures, but, like, they combine them with some weapon.
Huh.
Yeah. So there's, like, Trident, which is the dragon, and a trident. Very fun stuff. They're very strong, too. They're fucking wacky. Unlike our delicious little treats that we're going to be talking about next, guys, such as Cupsy Yummy, Tiramisus, Madolce Mini Meowcaroons, and Putrid Pudding Body Buddies.
These are,
I'm immediately going tiramisus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say I was gonna go Cupsy Yummy, but then I saw it and I'm like, no, that's no. And I'm gonna go tiramisu as well.
Okay. Jackson, are you going for the 3 for 3 here?
I was initially leaning toward Cupsy Yummy, but you have that fucking star in the name, and I know that's some real ass shit. So I guess I'll pile on. Why not?
Okay. There you go. Fantastic. And unfortunately, guys, you did not fall for the Cupsy Yummy. It's real. Unfortunately, slight addendum here. We only have the Japanese version of it currently, but the translation is Cupsy Yummy.
Huh.
You were all right, though. Tiramisu is something from my sick and twisted mind.
Dude, those
all
kinds
It
of
is
makes
very
sense.
interesting how Nico having to throw this together 10 minutes before has seemingly led to it being easier to tell what the fake ones are.
Yeah.
Even though I could not articulate why that is.
It's because he doesn't
well.
put stars in it. Nico, please never put stars and random shit in the names. You'll fucking own me.
Yeah, I was about to say, you gotta
got it,
get a little
dude.
more creative now. We're letting you in on all of, like, the reasons we're getting these right.
I guess so. I'm really gonna have to start upping my game here from now on. I'm gonna have to start getting my game on. Maybe I'll have some sweet-ass background music playing, just like Danger Zone, Man-Eater, Final Countdown, or Number 62, Mr. Blue Sky.
I'm gonna go Mr. Blue Sky. There's no fucking way.
I'm gonna say Man-Eater. I don't think the Japanese listen to Hall & Oates.
That's a wild conclusion, but...
I don't know what the fuck number 62 Mr. Blue Sky is a reference to. I know the other three, so I'm gonna go and say that one.
All right. Fantastic work. Tanner, you really should have watched out, boy, because that Man-Eater will chill you up. It's real, unlike Mr. Blue Sky.
Hell yeah, I don't even know what Mr.
Damn.
Blue Sky... I'm pretty sure we've had Danger
It's a
Zone
fucking
before.
it's a fucking LEO song, right?
ELO, yeah.
ELO, whatever.
Yeah, Final Countdown for sure sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, like 100%, and Man-Eater also 100% sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Danger Zone before, so this one was an easy layup for me.
Why is it Danger Zone?
Because it's part of the Danger archetype that we had seen before. Like Danger, Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what I'm remembering.
I'm definitely not using my previous knowledge towards these quizzes.
Yet you're still doing pretty good. What does that say about me?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe you just got your head too much in the gutter here, Dylan. It's preventing you from really excelling here. Potentially, you could start putting that to use with these next cards, though, like Order to Smash, White Hole, Amazoness Head Receiver, or Moisture Creature.
What the fuck?
Amazon is head receiver?
I think that one's real. I don't know why.
I'm going that one. I'm locking in Amazon
Nah, dude,
is
that
head
one's
receiver.
gotta be real. I'm gonna go. Oh, no, not that one either. Fuck. No, wait, hold on. I'm having second thoughts. No, I'm gonna go Amazon as head receiver after all.
Okay.
Me too. I was gonna fake myself out into doing White Hole because I was thinking maybe Nico had the White Pony album on his mind, but
That'd be
I'm
funny.
gonna go Amazoness head receiver.
Dude, it's either that or Moisture Creature. That was my tie-up.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of the old moisture creature. It is real, unlike Amazon's head receiver. Good job, guys.
I'm fucking goated.
I did the thing that Jackson almost did that other round where I was like, I don't think it could... like, these other three sound like they could be it, but that one doesn't sound like it is. I'm glad I changed
Moisture
it.
creature looks nothing like what I anticipated it looking like. What the fuck is this picture?
It doesn't look like anything, quite frankly.
It's like a weird umbrella, like a ray gun, perchance, and then some critter in the background, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't even know, dude. That's crazy.
It's like a creature about the concept of moisture rather than it being moist itself.
Dude, White Hole sounds awful. Why would you make a card specifically to counter another card?
Believe it or not, Dylan, it's actually I'm kidding, it's terrible.
I was about to say there's no way.
Yeah, it sounds way too specific.
Yeah.
Well, alrighty, boys. Speaking of specific, let's talk about some things that I wish were a little more specific and not so fucking dumb. Such as magical something, Doda dwarf, go glove, interplanetary thorny let me give that another shot here. Interplanetary purpley thorny dragon, or just an emoticon of like a cat face.
Oh, love is one word. Okay,
I
I was
was
wondering where the split was there. I was like, I thought we already did 5. That cat
my
face is a fucking
gosh.
crazy red herring to me.
Yeah.
I could totally see them doing some shit like that, though.
I'm gonna go with the do dwarf, go glove.
Okay.
Dodo dwarf go glove is also the one that stood out to me, so I'll join Dylan on that one.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna go with my initial assumption with the cat face one, personally.
Alright.
I don't know about that
Really,
one yet.
Jackson? Well, like, after what you had said previously about, like, throwing in symbols and stuff like that, how it's, like, the obvious tell that it's real.
This isn't a symbol, though. I'm thinking of, when I say symbol, I mean, like, fucking stars and, like, hearts and shit. This is just,
Omegas.
like, you're like a Unicode face.
Okay, gotcha.
You've done shit like this before.
Fair enough. And I did do it again.
God damn
That
it.
was the fake one.
Gotta be kidding me. This is insane. What the fuck? I have no words.
I had very little faith in that guess.
I knew magical something was a card. I didn't know it was a monster card, though. I swear it was like a spell card or something.
Interplanetary purple thorny dragon.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one. It was, yeah, I don't know. It was either the dwarf one or that one. Those were the two for me.
I was definitely tossing up between the cat face and magical something.
That's
The
fair,
other two
dude.
are just so fucking specific. I can't imagine that. And he goes like, yeah, dwarf.
Dude, I
It's
don't
like
know
some
if
really specific reference I just don't know about.
I don't know if dwarf is specific per se. That's just like you type in, two
I
characters
mean, how
over
would you
and over again.
how would you come up with that? Be like, yeah, what's a fake Yu-Gi-Oh card? Dwarf.
I'm not leaving anything to the imagination here, buddy. Anything could happen.
True.
Yeah, anything could happen, such as penguins flying. It's probably not possible, but it could. Like maybe some of these penguins. Perhaps it would be No Penguin, the Great Emperor Penguin, Penguin Eradication Patrol, or Puny Penguin.
Ooh. I have
I really want to.
two.
I really want to see the Carver Penguin Eradication Patrol. I'm very curious what that looks like.
I think I'm gonna go with my initial gut feeling and go with No Penguin.
I've got no gut feeling at all for any of these, so I'm just gonna go Puny Penguin.
Okay.
I feel like the only one I feel like I know is real is the Great Emperor Penguin. The rest are total fucking wild cards. I'm gonna go with my initial assumption, the Penguin Eradication Patrol, I guess.
Okay.
I don't want them to kill the
Fantastic.
penguins.
And frankly, I don't think that Konami wants to kill the penguins either, because that card is fake.
Damn it, dude.
I'm kind of
Great
fucking
work,
pissed
dude.
about that, bro. I wanted to see what the fuck that mean.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like a group of fucking like seals or something just
Damn.
wandering through.
they've got like big cigars in their mouth.
Yeah.
Dude.
I like this saucy pose for the no penguin.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Why does it not have a space?
What's fucked up about it is I could definitely see art in my head for No Penguin, and that was like a deciding factor for thinking it wouldn't be that one. But I went for it anyway because I don't know. I guess it was either that or the Penguin Eradication Patrol. I guess I should have gone with the second one.
Is Puny Penguin meta?
No,
Damn,
absolutely not.
that sucks.
Which one of the two is the puny one?
I think it's the front one. He's like the small guy who's protecting the bigger guy, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Just like the existence of our fine nation that we currently inhabit, America. The place, the home of the free. And perhaps some of these cards relate to it, such as Store an Eagle Above the Steering Land, Oil, Hamburger Recipe, or Abe LinkedIn.
No.
Oil?
Yeah.
You just posted the fucking card.
Fuck! No! Did you guys see those?
I didn't
Yes.
see the name. I saw the art
Yes.
Bummer. Well, this round is a flop. I'm sorry. Abe LinkedIn was fake.
though. I was gonna vote Abe
I was
LinkedIn
gonna
anyway.
guess that one too, damn it.
I
Damn.
was also planning on guessing that one. The
Well,
fucking
it sounds
soaring
like if-
eagle looks sick.
It does look pretty cool. You know, on the bright side, if everyone was going to pick it, then it was going to be a washed round anyway, so say la vie.
Yeah, Abe LinkedIn. Like, do you have the words on deck? Like, is it LinkedIn like the fucking platform?
It's like this.
Yeah, no, there's no fucking way.
Oil. Why is there just a fucking like realistic oil refinery? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, it was Hamburger Recipe there for a second, and then you said Abe LinkedIn, and I'm like, no, that's too fucking on the nose and too modern. There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, you know, this was bound to happen at some point. I was going to fuck it up. It was today, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Say la vie. Oh well. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next round then.
Oh.
All right. So, are we thinking, could it be Spell Card, Monster Reborn, Curse of Dragon, the Cursed Dragon, Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefariousness, or Greased Up Greasy Monkey?
Greased up greasy monkey. All of these are fucking weird as shit.
I'm gonna go with Monkey. If Monkey's funny.
I'm also going monkey.
Okay.
Monkey is also the one that stood out to me.
All right. Fantastic
There's
work,
no way
boys.
they'd use the phrase greased up. I don't believe it.
It's a grease monkey, you know?
Uh,
Fairly common phrase. Unfortunately, you guys saw through it. You saw through it again. Great
hell
work.
yeah. I've seen this card before. The Cursed Dragon. I've seen that before. I don't know where.
That's a retrain of the original Cursed Dragon card.
Yeah. Spell card Monster Reborn. Is this just like a? What is this?
It's fucking weird, whatever it is. I don't like it.
That is strange. Interesting.
I think it would have been funny if the spell card Monster Reborn wasn't a spell card.
That would be very funny.
It was a trap card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Nefarious Archfiend one. I think that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Cute little guy.
He is pretty badass. Now, boys, we've done it. We've made it to the final round. Can you believe it? We're here.
shit.
We're finally here.
Oh my
Are we
gosh.
queer?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
And so, much like last time, I am going to be offering you guys a bonus point here. If you can deduce what the theme of this round is, alright?
Okay.
So, prepare them ears, pucker them up as I read off. Warrior with 1,000-man body count, Great Long Nose, Dark Eradicator Warlock, and Gadget Gamer.
It's us. The
Good job,
Guapish
Tandy,
crew.
you got it.
Oh, oh.
Now, can you figure out what the card was, though?
I think it's insane you found a card that represents each of us -1. And now I'm thinking, who here did you leave out?
It's a good question.
My gut's telling me that the fake one is Warrior with 1,000-man body count. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh would use the phrase body count, and I think if they were making a badass warrior, they would put no number less than 10,000.
You're just saying that because that's your card. Dylan, you should pick Dark Eradicator.
I was gonna choose Dark Eradicator Warlock because don't read into. Nah, never mind. I'm not gonna read into it too much more. I'm just gonna go with that card.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play the bit. I'm gonna say my card. Great Long Nose.
How'd you know that was your card?
Curious. So you guys are interpreting Dark Eradicator Warlock as Dylan?
Which one do you think I am, Tanner?
I think Dylan is Gadget Gamer and Nico is Dark Eradicator Warlock.
No, dude. Nico definitely identifies himself as more of a gamer than me. We should all know that by now.
Okay.
Dylan was in fact correct. Excellent work. You knew that you were the Warlock. Unfortunately, you were not correct with your choice because it was Tanner's, the warrior with 1,000-man body count.
That made sense.
Dude, I've gotten too good at this game.
I just thought it'd be silly if I chose my own card, so I did. I knew in my heart of hearts that the warrior with 1,000-man body count based on Tanner's description probably made the most sense, but alas, here we are.
I was also certainly leaning towards that, but I went in for the bit, and I may have thrown. I don't know. Tanner may have been close enough to pass me there.
It's pretty tough to say. This was an incredibly close one this time around. The closest by far we've ever had on one of these fun little Yu-Gi-Oh! Challenges.
That's what it's about.
Personally, the moment I found the Great Long Nose, I knew that I needed to find some more cards to match this bit. But, in the end, was Tanner's correct guess that they represented us enough for him to pass Jackson?
I'm going to say yes.
Well, I'll let you know right now. Dylan, you got 6 points. Great work.
That's like how much he's gotten in total from the last 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Very true.
The difference between first and second place is but a single point.
I fucking knew it.
And the winner of the third Guess That Card Yu-Gi-Oh! Challenge is Jackson again. Big surprise.
No fucking way. What?
Yeah, you won.
I thought that was way fucking closer this time.
Man, I thought I was doing so good.
You were doing really good, Tanner.
You got 9.
I'm shocked I had a fucking 3-point lead before the final question.
Jesus.
You were just fucking killing it that much, man.
Huh.
I guess me and Jackson did overlap on quite a few, which is where he was able to pull ahead of me.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
That's funny.
So I got over half of them correct.
That's right. You did. Congratulations, dude. Yeah, there were 15. Woo. You got 9 of them. Great job.
Damn.
Fantastic.
I was so close to half.
Yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed it. As always, this special segment was brought to you by Fueled by Sandwiches. There where I got the inspiration. There, the wind beneath my wings. Please do not comment that I stole this idea from them. Thank you.
How annoying is it to, like, actually procure these? Like, I assume you just find one card, you say, let me find, like, a theme off of this, and then you just make a fake one off that?
Yeah, usually I'll find, like, some card where I'm like, oh, that's silly. And so I'll just, like, try to find more that relate to it in some sort of way. You know, sometimes it's just a compilation of really fucking stupid cards, like da-da-da-da dwarfed glove. And so, you know, it just kind of writes itself from there since I just need to find some more fucking stupid-ass names. But c'est la vie, dude. Honestly, the hardest one here is probably the fucking song one. I was having trouble finding some more for that.
Makes sense, dude.
Damn. The big question, and this is very meta, is has it become easier to edit these sections since you've done it so many times?
It has a little bit, yeah. I have been able to, like, kind of find some ways to organize it within my timeline that just makes the whole process a bit better. You know, overall, though, it's still a bit of a chore compared to our normal episodes, but, you know, the people seem to like them, so I'm willing to give them what they want. Also, they tend to be decently easy to organize, so
fair enough,
that's also
dude.
A big plus for it.
Have you found it easier to make up fake names for each of the sets of cards that you introduced to us?
Dude, no.
Oh, I figured it was one way or the other, so...
Yeah, it really is as simple as I go with the first thing I think of.
I mean, sometimes that's all you can really ask for, dude. Sometimes I feel like that's how these Yu-Gi-Oh! Creators did, but, you know, whatever.
Potentially. I'm not sure how much thought they really put into Putrid Pudding Body Buddies, but...
Yeah, you know.
Oh, well. Either way, I am kind of curious whether or not they come up with the art or the name first. That's something...
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or maybe, you know, they are completely weird and they start out with what kind of card it is and what it does, and then go from there.
Potentially.
You need to interview staff at Konami.
Yeah. I really need to pick their brain about it.
Dude, speaking of staph infections,
I can't wait to get a staph infection over on Guapish at the movies.
Guapish at the movies, boom, here comes the boom, ready or not, here comes the boys from the South.
He knew that song way better than me.
3 big booms for Tanner for that one, and another 5 big booms for us watching, of course, Here Comes the Boom, the 2012 film as requested by Hunter on Patreon. Thank you for the request, and if you also want to request a movie for us to watch, you can go to guaps.com/Patreon for $1 a month. You can request a movie for us to watch, and we'll get around to it at some point. And this movie is going to be now described by Tanner, I guess. I don't know.
Guys, Here Comes the Boom is the story of Kevin Smith, who is a shitty teacher. He sees that a good teacher is in trouble and decides, you know what, I'm a piece of shit, but that guy isn't. I should help him. And so he takes up fighting and he saves the day. Fun fact, in the final fight, the crew wanted to use a crane to lift up Kevin's opponent, but Kevin lifted him 3 times on his own to prove he could.
Boo, I already knew this fact, dude. Fuck you. Come up with better material.
Second fun fact, which is even more fun. The song Here Comes the Boom by POD was released on September 11th, 2001.
How unfortunate.
Oh, no. That's fucking hilarious.
That is amazing.
Those guys, yeah, they just go, so how are day 1 album sales? Well, people don't seem to be listening right now.
Oh no, that's so bad. Jesus.
This is actually
Here
an inside
comes the
plan.
Alright, rankings?
Yeah,
rankings. Tanner, how'd you feel about this one here?
I am at a B+ right now.
Fairly respectable.
Barely. Did you say barely or fairly?
Fairly.
Okay.
He said barley, like
Barley.
the grain.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm at a flat B, personally.
Okay. I'm a little bit lower. I'm at a B- personally. I was gonna, Jackson, you motherfucker, I was gonna make a joke that I love this movie. I'm gonna have 5 big booms. You stole my thunder. Dylan, where are you putting it?
I thought you guys would have liked this movie a little more. I figured this would have been pretty close. I mean, I guess it is kind of close. I gave Here Comes the Boom an A.
Okay, so this movie is cliche, it's predictable, the good joke to bad joke ratio is 1-to-1 at best, and I thoroughly enjoyed it and had a fantastic time watching it.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. I fucking loved it. This movie was a good time to watch, and I'm a sucker for movies regardless, so it doesn't matter if I say whether this is good or not. But I don't know. It was just fun to watch. I liked the idea of a teacher who is like, yeah, I used to wrestle, and then gets into MMA and is literally doing it to fundraise. I don't know. I enjoyed the comedy somewhat. I just think it's an enjoyable watch. This is gonna be one of those movies I don't really have a crazy amount to say. I didn't break this movie down really at all. Also, Selma Hayek is hot.
I think what saves this movie from, like, it's just an aggressively generic, like, plot structure and whatever. And to me, what saves it from being in, like, the C tier where it would just be, like, fine but boring is Kevin James and Henry Winkler.
Yes.
Who are 2 just, like, intrinsically likable guys, and I enjoy watching them on the screen. And then, yeah, Selma Hayek. Like they really just went, we're gonna make an impossibly generic film, but let's put 2 really likable guys and then the hottest woman in Hollywood in it, and then people will like it.
Speaking of the hottest woman in Hollywood, she got a fucking boob job, and she's trying to convince people she didn't, but, like, her tits are, like, twice as big, and she ruined herself personally. I don't know how the fuck she did that. She already had a fat rack, man. I don't get it. Anyways, go on.
Rip. And I'm curious to see if you guys would agree with this argument. I think one thing that kind of low-key helps this movie is the fact that it's UFC and not, like, some more generic, like, fighting thing or, like, boxing or whatever. Because you can kind of tell someone involved in the making this movie genuinely has enthusiasm for UFC, like, as a sport. And I think that enthusiasm kind of helps the movie elevate itself a little bit.
Yeah, it was Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, God damn it, you motherfucker.
I can definitely see it for sure. I can get behind that logic.
It's very funny seeing Joe Rogan in it, but also he's terrible at acting.
He is.
Yeah, that fucking scene at the dinner table is actually insane. Yeah, bless his soul, though. You know, I appreciate him trying.
So, Kevin, you're telling me that you're like a boxer or something? That's crazy. That's cool. We're going to get you into a big match. I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I have very little to actually say about this movie. It is surprisingly funny for what it is. I definitely think that it's a cut above some Adam Sandler schlock, given I gave it a B. I think it's an enjoyable watch. I don't think the emotional aspect of it really worked on me that much. I still find it a little hard to believe that our main character would go so far to help this dude, even if it is just like a ploy to get pussy and he's just trying to like cover his ass. But I don't know, it just seemed out of character for him, but maybe that's just because they didn't do a great job characterizing him, or maybe they do and I just didn't fucking get it. I don't know. The escalation of his skill with these fights is pretty funny too. How like he keeps like eating shit, but like he keeps getting into these more and more like high end fights. Like the progression there makes actually no fucking sense at all. But there's honestly some comedy in that fact. Like, yeah, no, like 4 fights later, he's in an actual UFC fight. Like, that's not how that fucking works. But, you know, I'll just roll with it because it's funny.
Not only that, but he wins? Like, what the fuck?
I feel like there was a lot of time jumping, but...
He got fucking punched in the face so many times. I don't care who you are. If you get skull punched like 5 times, you're going down. I don't give a fuck who you are.
He was gonna get hit by some fucking haymakers too, like Jesus. And then he just wins by like picking the guy up and throwing him on the ground. That wasn't the most satisfying way for that fight to end.
Dude, I totally disagree. That shit was fucking epic.
Yeah, I thought that shit was awesome.
There's a shocking amount of parallels to Rocky in this movie.
But, like, also, the reason that knockout makes sense to me is because they're reaching the end of their fight. They're both tired as hell. Even this professional guy, you know, he's tired. I definitely think if you're exhausted and you get picked up and you're, like, you know, he's probably a heavy dude. They're in the fucking heavyweight fights. And you go down with the force of not only you, but also this larger man and, you know, just gravity also. I think it's gonna do quite a number on you, regardless. It's the whole skull punching thing. I think it's gonna do you in pretty good.
I disagree. I think that fucking Kevin James should have roundhouse kicked him.
That'd be very fun, dude. Man, another thing where, like, obviously, you know, one or more people involved in this really just are really into the UFC. There's so many like Easter eggs to like UFC history in this. Like,
yeah, Joe Rogan's in this movie, guys.
In his first fight, the way it ends, where he just rushes in and then gets kneed in the face, that's fucking identical to a fight in UFC 1 between a sumo wrestler and a kickboxer, where the sumo wrestler dives in to try and grab the guy and then just gets kneed in the fucking face immediately, and he like breaks all his teeth and passes out.
Oh my god.
That scene was genuinely funny and caught me off guard. Movie has a surprising amount of those types of jokes in it that just work for some reason.
Yeah, there are a handful of really solid jokes. I really like... I don't know why he's in the movie, but I appreciate it because I really found him funny. The guy with all the kids and whatever. I just found that guy really funny, and all of the like family jokes and whatever.
Mm-hmm. That shit reminded me of fucking the first episode of Smiling Friends when he goes to visit Tim's house and it's all just the freaking kids just going crazy, running around. It's just chaos while they're having like a normal conversation.
Dude, that's super valid of you. I think a solid joke involving that guy is when he finally gets Salma Hayek to say yes to going out with him, and he's like, "Listen, I'll cook anything," and then it hard cuts to the other guy cooking.
Yeah,
I think that's just a well done joke there.
Yeah, one fun aspect of this film that I appreciated a lot was, you know, when the film starts, everything is super dreary and cloudy. There's, like, no color whatsoever, whatever the fuck. Everything's super muted. But then as the film goes on and you see, like, you know, he's getting a more positive attitude, things are looking up, he's really getting into the swing of things at school again. You see that, suddenly things are so much more colorful. There's the sets are much brighter and everything. It's a fantastic little touch that I appreciate a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Friend of the show, Hunter, pointed out that this movie is in fact just the plot of Nacho Libre. I think personally, in comparison to Nacho Libre, I think Nacho Libre is funnier, but I think this film is better done, like, plot-wise.
Fair enough, dude. I can agree with that.
I would disagree personally. I think that this film is much funnier.
I think this movie blows Nacho Libre out of the water. I thought the movie was incredibly unfunny, but I also don't like Jack Black as an actor. So
I was gonna say, you guys,
not
yeah, you guys didn't like Jack Black and you didn't like Nacho Libre, so that only checks out from here.
I don't mind Jack Black. That's Jackson's cross to bear.
Fair enough,
that
dude.
guy.
I take that back.
All right, one final question, because I feel like we're starting to wind down on this film here. Who is your guys' favorite member of the Sandler crew?
Dude, if I knew any of them by name, I'd tell you.
I gave you the only one I know. Wait, William Dafoe.
William Dafoe's... Wait, no, that's not... Is that who I think it is? I don't know if that's one of them.
Let's see who all we have here. Who are the ones that we know? So we got Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, David Spade, Chris Rock,
I guess you
Nick
could count him.
Swartzen, Rob Schneider, Kevin James, Henry Winkler.
It's not William Dafoe. I'm telling you that
It's
now.
Willem Dafoe,
Jackson.
by the way. I don't know why all of you pronounce the man's name incorrectly. He's Irish, okay?
Listen, dude,
Shut
I'm just
the fuck
repeating
up.
what Jackson said. I'm informing him that's not part of Adam Sandler's crew. Anyway, go on.
Terry Crews.
I feel like once we
I
get
think-
to Terry Crews, we start stretching it a bit.
Yeah, I don't...
I think Kevin James probably is my favorite out of these guys. I do really like David Spade in some things.
I think David
he's a
Spade is
funny
probably my
guy.
favorite. He's solid.
Steve Buscemi is pretty funny as well.
I was gonna say I'll be the outlier of the pack and say D. Buscemi.
I'm gonna go and be the outlier of the pack and say Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
Very
what I was
good.
thinking of. I said fucking William Dafoe. I'm getting my weird looking people mixed up.
That's a fair mistake to make, though, honestly.
For
Yes.
more or
No
less.
offense, Steve Buscemi and or William Dafoe if you're watching this video for some reason.
That'd be wild.
Well, alrighty, boys. Are we finished up here with Here Comes the Boom?
I think so.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I'll bump it up. Why not? We had a lot of positive things to say about this, and I'll give it a B.
Nice. I'm gonna keep mine the same.
As for me, I'm lowering my rank to a B minus. Just kidding, a B minus B.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm comfortable staying at B+.
Okay.
B plus A, and that puts it at a B plus.
Crazy.
I know. That's crazy.
You good, Tanner? What the fuck?
Sorry, I was watching that great Kevin James clip from a random Daytona thing where he just goes, I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And ladies and gentlemen. And then he just.
Oh,
need
it's
to be
that clip. Yeah, I
screaming,
fucking love that
that's a
clip.
good
It was
one.
late at night.
Yeah.
But
God bless his soul. May he rest in peace.
He's not dead.
He's dead to me.
Okay.
damn. He's
Jesus.
dead to me until he makes Paul Blart Mall Cop 4.
Oh my, don't even start me with those movies, man.
And speaking of Paul Blart Mall Cop 4, we have my pick of the week, that being the 2020 film Main Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul, aka the third Main Abyss movie in the series, aka the movie in between Season 1 and Season 2. This is, of course, the adventures of Rico, Anachi, and Reg going down from the 4th to the 5th layer, where they have to confront Bond Druid so they can get access to the 6th layer, and hilarity ensues. Tanner, what's your fun fact?
Okay.
Fun fact, the featured song is Forever Lost by Myth and Roy, who also do the Overlord OPs.
I love Myth and Roy. All my homies love Myth and Roy. They make some absolute fucking bangers, dude. Everybody should check out their song Hydra right now. Let's pause the recording.
Holy
Okay.
smokes, I'm going right now.
Alright, so Dylan, speaking of going, what are you going to be rating this film?
It's really hard to talk, because I gave the last movie an S+. It's really hard. I thought this movie was better, but I couldn't justify moving down the other movie, so I'm just gonna know in my heart that this movie is better than the last one, and just rank this one S+ as well.
Guys, because of this movie, we're actually coming out with a brand new rank, the G tier for Guapish. Right above S+. No. I do think it'd be funny to have, like, a highest ranked tier, and it's only if we all unanimously gave that movie like the highest possible tier, which will never happen. But I think
it'll never
interesting.
happen. The closest we got was Into the Spider-Verse, and I think you gave it an S instead of an S+.
I'm fucking based for that, to be honest.
You're
Anyways, speaking of S's, I'm also giving this movie an S. I think it is another incremental upgrade from the previous movie, and I think it's enough to warrant a tier jump.
Tanner, what are your thoughts? You looked rather bewildered by both of their statements
it's mostly
there.
just because he ranked the last one S+, so fucking, he's obviously a bit silly.
Okay.
Okay.
I am curious, Jackson, relative to the other two, where do you think I place this one?
Dude, I have one thing to assume, and it was just in the middle of the movie, you typing that the author needs to be put in fucking jail, which, understandable. But, I don't know. I feel like you'd like this one more than that one. You gave that one, the last one, an A-, I think, and that was the best one. So I would assume you like this one more than that, but I could be entirely wrong.
I think he actually gave the previous one a B+. I gave it an A-.
I personally think Tanner liked the last one more than this one, but he liked this one more than the first one.
Dude, Dylan's correct. I have this one sitting at a B right now.
Holy shit, that's fucking wild.
Interesting. And shockingly enough, I wasn't expecting this to happen, but I didn't like this one as much as the previous film. I'm
That's
giving
wild.
it a B+.
There are two wolves in the Guapish podcast.
I'm just as shocked as you guys are.
What did it in for you guys? I'm quite curious.
So the problems that emerge in this one that hold it back from being better than the second one to me is, one, to me it really felt like they were starting to do fucked up things just for the sake of fucked up things happening, which is going to be very funny when we get to the next movie, but anyway. And then the obviously, it's a summary of an anime, blah, 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 so the pacing is sped up. The speed of which we are going through events in this one really stood out in a negative way. It feels like we don't have time to absorb anything that's happening, and we just kind of, zoom through plot points until we get to the big fight scene, which, is epic and cool and very awesome and better than... I'd say the fight scene in this is more entertaining than anything in the second movie, but a lot of the story stuff felt lackluster to me. And it is because it just feels like we're speeding through it and not really caring, and also the fact that it's just like, dude, we're fucking goopifying children. Isn't that radical? I'm like, not really.
I agree with everything Tanner just said on the pacing. The pacing is the single biggest issue I have with this film. It is really atrocious, quite frankly. Like, the moment that they leave the fucking compound and... like, they're getting, like, set up for the fucking trap for Bondred with, like, the big old bugs. That's where I see the noticeable nosedive for it. It's like, not even necessarily nosedive. It, like, fucking falls off a cliff, repeatedly bashes its head on sharp rocks, and gets mauled by a mountain lion at the bottom. That's what happens to the pacing for this film.
Genuinely, I have no fucking idea what you guys are talking about.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about either. Also, Tanner, this is not a summary. This is a standalone.
That means it has no excuse now.
It's dropping a rank. Anyway, yeah, no, I genuinely have no idea what you guys are talking about. I think the movie is consistently very entertaining. It has things going on constantly. I think that it does slow down for the parts where it needs to with the emotional backstory and stuff, like the fucking post-credits cutscene. I think they do a good job not wasting time giving explanation to things that don't necessarily need to, because you can just see what they're doing. Like fucking the setup after they catch Bondred in the fucking trap. We know what's going on. They don't need to fucking slow down and describe in more detail what's happening. I think it's totally fine. I think I genuinely have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. Especially Nico, such a visceral reaction to the pacing. I think it's totally fine. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was really bad. Like, even just the way in which they structure the events throughout the film. We'll see that, like, fucking, it does a flashback to a scene that happened while we were watching the film, like when fucking Rico and Prushka were on the stairs together. It just cuts back to that. It's like, oh, I feel like this is something we really could have just, like, had earlier in the film. I don't know why this is the moment you decide to start showing us this part. It
wasn't relevant until then, I think, is the whole reason they did that.
Why do we need to see it then?
Because it was relevant then. That's when they started talking about Prushka again.
Mm-hmm. But Why couldn't we see it like as it was actually happening though?
Because it wasn't necessary to the scene that was happening in then.
I don't know what the fuck you mean by that, but fair enough.
I don't know what your complaint is then necessarily. I think it's placed fine. I don't know if it benefited by putting it chronologically. I don't think that changes anything.
I think one of the big issues here is, given the demeanor of our characters, I think we're forgetting that this is supposed to be an extremely fucked up anime where we're introduced very early on that the Abyss is not something you fuck around with, and that only fucked up shit happens, not only to the characters if they decide to ascend, but also the monstrosities and monsters and creatures that inhabit it within. And we're also like told that the White Whistles are a fucked up group of people. So for us to have any expectation that fucked up shit isn't going to happen is extremely out of the question. I think the fact that, you know, they're liquefying children I don't think they're doing fucked up shit just to do fucked up shit. We knew that this shit was happening. He was doing this not to this degree beforehand when fucking Nanachi and Midi were there. He was just doing it in a less, I guess you could say, efficient way.
I don't know if I agree with Dylan's defense of the movie here, to be completely honest.
Well, this is how I interpreted it.
I mean, I think you're just maybe doing a disservice, because it kind of sounds like you're just saying because they set up that fucked up shit happens, we should just be okay with watching it. I don't think that's necessarily a good defense of why these things are happening. I think a better defense is specifically trying to explain why this services the characters in the way it does. So, like, let's go to the immediate first one. I think maybe the most awkward to watch scene in the entire movie, where Reg's strapped up to the fucking machine with a thing on his little wiener. I don't have a fucking defense for why they display such imagery like that, but the reason they do that to Reg in the first place is because to Bondroid, he knows exactly what he is. He's seen the female Reg, which they talked about in the previous movie. The fucking female Reg is presumably even hooked up to the Zoaholic at some point, hence why he was able to take over Reg's body. He sees it as a fucking relic. He doesn't see it as a human. So immediately he sees this fucking crazy, super cool relic, and he's like, I want to fucking tear that thing up and see what the fuck it's all about. He doesn't see it as a person. So I think it's completely reasonable to assume why that happened, and I don't see it as a downside at all. I think they could have toned down the imagery of it, of course. That's just the author being a fucking weirdo.
Oh yeah,
I think the reason for that happening is totally understandable and fits with his character, especially given how they've described it previously. Next fucked up thing, obviously, are the cartridges, the kids being turned into that. I think, honestly, it's fucking terrible to say this, but legitimately I think it is a very cool way of countering the Abyss, especially with such an aggressive curse that they get from going up from the 6th to the 5th, where they literally lose their humanity. I think it's a very novel way of going around that restriction. I think it's interesting. It is obviously incredibly fucked up, but it also fits with his character so much, where he's taking down these kids. He cares for all of them. You know, you get to that scene where he fucking goes down, he starts naming all the kids that are inside that pit. Mm-hmm. He knows what they are. He cares for all these kids. He understands what he's doing is for like the greater good. That's all he's going about. Maybe he's still crazy because the Zoaholics fucked him up, but it's just like a very inventive way of countering that in a very main Abyss twist.
Can you real quick just explain it to me? Because I don't think I fully grasp how it works is the problem.
Basically, the idea is that if you go up from the 6th to the 5th, you're going to lose your fucking humanity. So he's redirecting the force of the Abyss onto the cartridges themselves, because they're basically what they're doing is they're skinning the kids alive and basically taking everything except for their like needed organs and then putting them into that cartridge, and that's all they are. They're not like just turning them to fucking goop. They're literally like fucking in Midsommar, where they like skin the person and have all their flesh upside down. They're basically just like cutting off their skin, turning them into like a pod of a human, and basically they're just redirecting the curse of the Abyss onto those cartridges. That's what happens when he fucking spits them out. That's because that kid's totally been corrupted and he can't, sustain the curse of the Abyss anymore. And that's why when those pop out, he gets hit by the Abyss a little bit, because the curse starts fucking going and afflicting him again. So he cycles through them.
But I guess like more so like what Tanner's question is potentially, I guess here is like, well, how is he redirecting? Like, how does that make it so that it isn't affecting him then?
How exactly we don't know.
Because like if two people were like going through the fucking Abyss at one time, would they not both be hit with it, or is that just affecting one person?
They haven't given us like the fucking bare bones details of how specifically this works, but you can assume some setup with his suit. He's got the fucking thing that holds the cartridges. There's some sort of apparatus he has hooked up to him that's redirecting the Abyss into the machine that he has on his back. And we know this because he does the same fucking thing with the elevator scene with Midi and Nanachi, where they redirect the abyss from one side to the other. They're doing the exact same thing with him and those cartridges. It's just in a more like portable way.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is everything that I thought I knew. It just didn't feel like satisfying enough of an answer for it to be the real one, but oh well.
Fair enough, dude.
I do feel like they kind of blaze through a lot of shit in this movie too quickly, as Tanner had mentioned previously. Like, just like them bringing up cartridges in general, like when they initially talk about what cartridges are, what they're used for, it is like what Jackson just said, they use it to redirect the Curse of the Abyss so that, Bonju doesn't have to fucking worry about it. But then, like, once Reg shows up or some shit, and Nanachi's like, oh, be careful, he has cartridges. I thought they just...
some of the dialogue makes it sound like they're a weapon.
They're not. He's just saying that because they're just trying to imply that he can ascend the abyss, and there's risk involved in that because he can't use strategies like him going into the river and knocking him down and corrupting him that way again. That's no longer an option.
When he's, like, shooting the goo, though, isn't he using, like, the cartridges for that?
No, that's a completely separate relic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing that also confused me. Yeah.
He's got a lot of relics. He collects relics. He's got a wider range of an arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah, like that big old tail of his, that's also a relic. That's pretty fun, right? Which also, by the way, what the fuck was Rico talking about when she was like, yeah, that fucking thing, it's a big old butt. That's what it looks like. No, it's a fucking plant.
Well, it's because we see it when it's like fully, I don't know, open maybe. Maybe there's like a different form before they transported it there where it's like cocooned up and maybe it looks like a butt before it gets like sprouted. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Why even mention that if we're not going to see it though?
I don't know. It's funny.
World building.
Okay.
It adds some context to the way this child sees these things. I don't know.
I feel like that just confuses the audience though when we see it, because then like when Rico is like, oh, is that the thing? It's well, that doesn't look like what you said it was.
I mean, I think it also just adds to like uncertainty. Maybe it isn't. Maybe they're wrong about that. I don't know. I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like that. We don't know a ton. I think that adds a lot to the allure of what this show is, because there's so much we don't know. There's so much unknown, and we're going through a very similar experience as to what the characters are.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say one benefit: we're fucking shitting on this movie a lot, and it's a lot mostly just me.
I do have pros to get to. We just immediately kicked off with the negative. So,
anyways, let me give a positive here. The first two movies, specifically the first one, we get a little bit of intro to who Rico is as a character, but not like a crazy amount of characterization. The second movie, she's basically MIA for the entire thing because she's fucking passed out. This third movie is really what develops Rico as a definitive character. I think they do a good job of like putting on where each of them fit into the team. We've got like Rico is the fucking brain. She knows a lot of things. She can make up these plans. Nachi can like position everything. She's like the strat maker. And then we've got Reg, who's like their muscle. And I think that's a cool dynamic. I think it makes Rico feel like much more of a character, which I can appreciate, which he felt a little bit lackluster in the first couple, and comes into form a bit in this one.
Yeah, I can see that. I will say though, so, just to preface this here real quick, I ended up watching the fucking Japanese version this time around, boys. That's right, I finally converted, checked it out. I thought it was fine, but there was one aspect of it that just was constantly distracting me. I'm not knocking this as a negative for the film. I just found it very silly. Rico was just constantly saying the N-word throughout this film.
I mean...
And I found it hilarious.
I don't know what to say about that. I didn't notice it personally, but
it was every time she said Reg's name.
I that's like a fucking, if you hear somebody say one thing, but like that's not what they're actually saying, and you can just kind of like assume what they're saying. This is a nothing statement. I think it's kind of funny if you think that, because maybe it's like, oh, I can't stop hearing that. I never noticed that before you said that, though. I never would have assumed that's what you were trying to point that towards.
Yeah, now that
this really says a lot about Nico, frankly.
Yeah.
What?
We're not in Black History Month anymore, so he's letting it all out.
I guess so.
I mean, yeah, now that I've heard it, you've said it out loud, I can hear it, but like knowing what I know about the Japanese language, I did not hear that at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some word in Korean that's like a very innocuous one as well that just sounds like the N-word, so...
We all know that one song.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I guess, literally, you guys touched on this before. The pacing certainly, I think, is its biggest flaw. I don't think it's really that big of a deal to me in the end. It's certainly a very fast-paced movie, and I think that's really the only big thing that I have annoyance with outside of, like, the fucking creepy pedo shit, but, that's just me in the best.
Why does he keep fucking popping boners? What's up with that?
Because he's some horny little boy. I don't fucking know. And the author's a horny old man. I don't know. But, yeah, no, I think the pacing is certainly pretty fast. I don't think it's like a crazy big negative to me, but that's, I don't know. Anyways, do we have any other negatives before we talk about the positives, I guess, if we're going to separate these into two halves?
Yeah, let's see. So, like, fucking Reg being able to use his incinerator just constantly throughout his fight with Bontrud, I did raise an eyebrow with me. Overall, it looked very cool, so that was nice at the very least, but also... Like, we just previously in the movie, Nachi was telling, yeah, you only have like 3 shots left, so you need to be very conservative with it. But then during the fight, he's just fucking letting it rip like no tomorrow.
Did you notice that also after when Nachi looks at his hat again, she says there's 10 shots left? Do you understand what's happening then?
Presumably, like, the big electricity thing gave him a lot of extra charges.
Yeah, he charged himself back up.
Yeah, but at the same time, like... I don't think there was anything pointing to the fact that he could just, like, keep using it. Like, after he fired it once, it seems like he should have just, like, not been able to do it again, like, pass out shortly afterwards.
Nico, we talked about this, you son of a bitch. Okay, yeah, this is actually something Nico and I had talked about previously, so I'm going to go and address it. This is actually one minor plot thing that I found kind of interesting. Maybe there's just something I don't understand about this, or it's not explained, I don't know. But we previously described that if he uses an incinerator, he passes out 10 minutes later. And... I think the small shots, like the little tinier ones he's doing pretty consistently, those are fine. I think that coincides with him just knowing how to use his body better, explanation they give, because the female version of him took over his body briefly, and that kind of reminded him how to use himself, because, he has fucking amnesia. He forgot basically everything about his past when he lost his power initially. And I am assuming that the small shots are just one of his new powers. He can just, like, more finely hand tune that the laser on him, and the passing out thing only happens if it's like a big exhaust of energy all at once, which is like what those big explosions are. The smaller ones are like tinier ones, so it doesn't like immediately knock him out because it's less strain on him. But he does in fact use that massive explosion that blows up a large part of the base, and that's kind of what takes him out of that like sicko mode phase he was going into. But he doesn't pass out 10 minutes after that unless the fight with Bondruid and all the events after that take place within 10 minutes, which maybe they do, I don't fucking know. But yeah, he doesn't pass out after that, and I just question like if he can avoid that now maybe, or maybe he was so overloaded with energy that using the incinerator didn't knock him down because it just put him back at like a normal level or something. He's on like overcharged state maybe. That was a little strange and kind of confusing to me, but everything else was fine. Anyways, go on, Nico.
I think that was really my only other like big thing with it. Oh, also the characters at the end, they feel way too happy for everything that just happened. Just Rico being like, oh boy, can't wait to go on a new part of the adventure.
Dude, also one more negative for the ending. Like, Bontrud being alive is fucking stupid, and I didn't like that.
Why they never destroyed the Zoaholic? It doesnn't make. Why would they didn't kill him? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they should have.
Well, they fucking did it.
It makes the whole fight feel fucking pointless, which it is.
I would disagree.
It got them their white whistle so they can continue the adventure.
Yeah.
Sure. I just would have liked more closure where Bontrud was dead.
Alas. The big thing with it is even if they killed the Zoaholic, they previously described that there are so many Umbral hands just all over the fucking place, like that one that was in the 4th layer burning down those fields. Even if they destroyed the Zoaholic, they kill all of the Umbral hands that are there, which would be a fucking monumental task in and of itself because it's a massive fucking base with a ton of his henchmen there. He can just go to any other random fucking one that's anywhere else basically, and then he's back up, baby.
Yeah.
There's no fucking killing him. I think they very easily established that. The fight was just to stop him so they could get past their goal. It wasn't to fucking put him down.
Dude, I was under the impression destroying the Zoaholic meant he couldn't, like, incarnate himself anymore.
But they didn't do that.
Yeah, well, I really thought that they were sending Rico to go look at it while they were doing other shit because her mission was to destroy it or something.
I don't think she'd be able to do that.
Not just like
she was going to get his
look at it and be like, "Hey, look at that thing."
I mean, what
like,
the fuck is she going to do? She was going to get his Reg's hand.
She literally shoots an explosive bolt later in the movie.
That's because she was syncing up with Reg to do that. How the fuck is she going to be like, "Yo, Reg, fucking blast this thing real quick"?
No, I'm saying she could have shot an explosive bolt at the Zoaholic and destroyed it.
He was talking about like the crossbow or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that. I don't fucking know. I just they didn't fucking do it. I don't imagine that would have destroyed
they didn't
it.
do it. I'm saying I think this could have been done better and more satisfying.
They also, again, did say in the movie that even destroying it wouldn't have fucking changed anything because they still have all the boys everywhere.
Dude, just write it so that destroying it would kill him.
Alas, people really like Bondrewd. He's a very good character. I think he's a super cool villain and antagonist, and I don't want him to die because of that. I think his motivations are interesting and nuanced. I like the fact that he really does just seem like he truly wants to help move society forward in this way, even if his methods are incredibly fucked up and inhumane. And also, of course, he plays a larger part of the plot later on still because he's a big fucking character in it, so I disagree hard, personally.
Okay.
Alrighty, boys. Speaking of Bondrewd, though, as Jackson said, he really likes Bondrewd as a villain. I also like Bondrewd a lot as a villain. He's very cool. I'm a big fan of him. He's just such a fascinating character, you know? Like, he leaves a lot of things up in the air. It's like, how much does he actually care about these kids? Does he even genuinely love Prushka, or is it just like a means to an end for him? Like, we do see moments where he does care about them, as Jackson said, like when he's like fucking like shooting out their cartridges and you're like, I remember her. She was a very kind girl, stuff like that. But at the same time, he's still fucking killing them and making them endure this horrific thing. So it's tough, you know? And when he's talking to Nanachi, he's like, you know, making that deal with her. And he does like seem surprised when she's like, hey, don't hurt my friends. Like, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I fucked up, you know? Didn't know you'd want that. Kind of already grabbed Reg. Oopsie.
Yeah, in fairness to Bondrewd in that moment, I'm sure he probably just sees it as some fucking robot. I don't think he really sees it as like one of them.
Yeah, he's just cool. He doesn't play like all of his cards, like all of his emotional cards on the table. So it does kind of leave you wondering where exactly his true feelings lie.
True. There's of course also the question of like how like there he truly is with the Zoaholic and all those mixed consciousness. Like if he actually it's like if he's like just basically insane, he's like so motivated by his obsession to conquer the abyss, if he like actually is truly in this way, or if like it's just like a weird representation of who he once was mixed with his obsession, and it's kind of like a twisted way of viewing that relationship with all these kids. So I feel like he does have a basis of emotion towards these children. Obviously, he's putting a lot of effort to understand them and know about them and, you know, raise them in the case of Prishka. But yeah, I think he is just so fucked up from the abyss that he looks past all of that, and if anything, I assume he probably sees these children as martyrs. I don't think he sees them as like, I'm going to do something fucked up. I think he sees them as, you're going to help advance science, and like this should be a good thing. I assume that's his perspective on all of this.
Dude, if you really think about it, it's like he lost his humanity without going from the 6th to the 5th layer.
Hell yeah.
Yes, he also does literally lose his humanity going from the 5th to the 6th layer. And then gets it back because he takes somebody else over. Woohoo.
Bondrewd has some sick warlock drip, though, I will say.
Holy smokes.
Who wins the bet? I believe Jackson has to pay up.
Yeah.
Little did you know, you guys forget that I watched the fucking episode, so I decided to throw this bit in here because I thought it'd be funny, so fuck all of you.
Damn. Bro's fucking throwing me under the bus.
I'm metagaming the shit out of this podcast, little do you know.
That's fucked up.
The fights were also really amazing in this film. Gotta hand it to him. That shit kicked ass. I really want Reg and Bondrewd in a fighting game. Stat! They were fucking sweet. You can easily visualize what their fucking moves and everything would be too.
Oh yeah, easily.
The explanation behind the White Whistles too is very interesting, that there's somebody that has to sacrifice himself basically to be created. And fucking Bondrewd, literally, I think it's perfect for his character that he literally sacrificed himself so that he could get a fucking White Whistle. That is metal as shit.
Yeah, and, that was wild.
Yeah. Prushka as a character too is very interesting because she literally, all she wants is just to go explore this thing that she lives in without any other context behind it, because she's just been in this fucking base her entire life basically. And latching on to Rico so quickly is cool, because I think it would have been interesting to see her come down with her in the abyss, and unfortunately she is in a very twisted way. Very good emotional impact in that final fight scene when they discover what's fully happening. They piece it together.
Yeah. I was so fucked up after that, dude. Oh my god. Not the most emotional thing I've been through all week, but regardless. This was a fucked up week for me. I forgot I watched this movie with everything that's happened, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a rough one.
Back to back.
Yeah, that's probably why I've been so fucking emotionally out of it, dude. I just can't anymore.
You've become numb to it.
But yeah, overall, I really like this movie. I think, per usual, the art direction is incredible. I think it's insanely well animated. It's beautiful to look at. The fight scenes are super well done and very creative. I really love when they do that, like, interesting black and white scene with Sam Raimi. Like, Mob Psycho 100 has a scene that's similar to that.
I was going to bring that up, actually. Yeah, Reg definitely is evoking the same sort of energy that Mob is. And at the same time, like, despite, like, both Reg and Bunchud's, like, main colors during that scene being black, despite all that, they do still like not like blend together or get super muddy during that scene either, so you can still very easily tell like which character is which and who's doing what and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the pace is continuously very entertaining. I never felt like I was bored throughout it. There was still a lot happening, a lot to pick up on. I think the character interactions are great. I really don't have any major flaws with this movie. I think it was just a very entertaining experience overall. Big fan of this one.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I think, once again, obviously, world building is awesome. Spectacular set pieces throughout this film. The next layer in particular, that big old city, looks cool as fuck. I'm definitely very excited to explore that more. It's like, fucking, there's a whole ass city down here. What does that look like at this point? Are there residents of it? I don't know. And something that I feel like I, unfortunately, have not mentioned in any of the previous Main Abyss reviews we've done so far is that just the atmosphere overall of Main Abyss is so unique. It's perhaps my favorite quality of it. I was trying to find another word that wasn't aspect. It's probably my favorite quality of it. It just has this almost whimsical feel with all the bright and beautiful environments, but there's also like always a slightly sinister undertow to it. Just like there are terrifying things lurking around every corner. Like the fucking big old flower field that they find themselves in. It's like, whoa, this looks crazy beautiful. This is like Rico's mom's favorite place. But also there are fucking bugs in here that will kill you.
Dude, that's the fucked up part. They're from the 6th layer too, so that shit's fucked.
Fuck them bugs.
And we also saw that big old fucking worm thing was from like the 3rd layer, whatever the fuck, but it was like up on the first one, so it's like shit's starting to move up. What's up with that exactly?
Yeah, the environmental world building is great. I agree with the vibes. So like in every scene of them is like inside of the base of the 5th layer is very cool. The fucking, especially like the industrial side, it's just like you always feel like tense because it's just like one of those scenes that feels like you're in a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
It's also crazy that they just fucking left themselves like so unguarded in that room in Bondwood Base night 1.
Yeah.
The movie tries its best, but like these are children at the end of the day, and they make very childlike assumptions and behaviors, and I appreciate that too. I think their characterization is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when Prushka is talking to Rico, and she's talking about like, "Oh, my name's Prushka." It means like flower of dawn, whatever. That's such a child thing to do. Where it's like, yeah, this is what my name means. And then like when Rico like falls down the stairs from like getting hit by the fucking abyss or whatever the fuck, and like Prushka's like looking at her and it's like, oh, it's okay, you only lost baby teeth, and it's like these characters still have baby teeth.
Yeah.
Just a little reminder for just how in over their heads they are here.
Yeah, and they're like well past the point of no return at this point too.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're going down to the 6th layer. They're literally past the point of no return at this point.
Yeah, well, things could change.
Yeah, well, maybe they find some way of ascending. I don't know.
Dude, they're just gonna go through the planet core and come out the other end.
Yeah, they're gonna pop out in China.
I feel like that's not how that's gonna work, but to each their own.
They're gonna get fucking gored alive by some Elder Tor in the 7th layer, and that's just gonna be the end of it very suddenly.
Yeah. That'd be a funny way to end an anime. Just at the very end, you got your protagonist, and they just straight up go into a fight they can't win, and they all die, and that ends it.
It's just episode 1 of season 4. They immediately die. That's the end.
Yeah. It would be very unsatisfying, obviously, but it would fit the theme, unfortunately.
Right.
Because shit does just fucking happen here. Anything can happen. Fucking.
It would almost be a more satisfying ending because, like, them, like, succeeding, whatever that looks like, then you're like, well, they're fucking 9. You're telling me no one else could pull this off before now?
To be fair, they also have, like, Reg and Nanachi with them, who have, like, special properties that absolutely help them within the Abyss.
Yeah, we also don't
Sure.
know how far down people have gotten. Like, there's plenty of white whistles they know of that are farther below than, like, the 6th or 7th layer. People may have gone all the way down. We just don't know about
fucking
them.
spoilers. There's
They've
a
literally-
7th layer?
They've literally
they've
said
said
this
that.
shit before.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I've only...
They've said that there are 11 layers in total.
Says the motherfucker that didn't pay attention to the last half an hour of fucking movie 2.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Context I'm missing, huh?
Anyway, I think it'd be a really interesting anime concept to explore, where it's just like you follow a main character, they die, it goes to another main character, and they pass up that main character, they die, and it's just a progressive.
Dude, that's literally just Gantz.
Yeah, that's not Gantz.
Are they not able to, like, pass notes from the 6th layer up?
They are. They can.
They could, presumably, yeah. There is, like, openings.
They have like balloons, but you know, the further down they are, the more they're gonna be like terrifying creatures and shit. They'll probably just destroy them. So
Well, I mean, even
Okay.
beyond that, I think it was like in the 2nd layer where it's like the fucking turbulent winds and shit, because they did that at the end of the 2nd movie. It barely made it
Yeah.
up, and they were in the fucking 4th layer.
Yeah.
It just seems like personally, I just feel like they should have more information about, like, the 6th layer and below, since there are people who've gone down there and hypothetically they could get a message back.
Potentially. The big thing is that also you have to look at it from, like, almost like a capitalist standpoint, where, for example, Bondruid's troop, maybe they have some form, like, I mean, they do, they can talk to each other through, like, some fucking Neuralink bullshit because of the Zoaholic, but maybe other groups of raiders have that too, and they don't want to pass information to these people because then it'd give them an advantage, because there's crazy, super cool, expensive shit that they don't want other people getting down there. So there's also, like, some, you know, information hiding because of that, and there's that layer. There's, like, the fucking group that, like, hands out the white whistles, so certainly there's some sort of, like, government association that's part of this, but we don't really know a ton about it.
wait,
so I wouldn't
hand
be
out the
shocked
white
if-
whistles?
That's what I was about to say.
I meant to just say the whistles. I don't know if
Okay.
I said if I said white whistles, I didn't mean that. I just meant whistles.
Okay.
There's some sort of bureaucracy about this, but yeah, I don't imagine they get too far. I feel like most adventurers get down to, like, the 4th layer, and that's really about it.
Yeah, there's some pretty intensely fucked up shit going on beyond the 4th layer, as you have witnessed. So I think for your casual cave dweller or cave raider that's not a white whistle or a black whistle, I think if they choose to go past the 4th layer, they probably don't make it too much farther. And the white and black whistles aren't keen on sharing secrets with other people, if that wasn't already obvious.
Yeah.
Well, boys, do we have any final thoughts on this film?
No.
I think it's peak. I was a little scared that I wasn't going to like it as much as the first time I watched it, because I watched it when it first released, fucking 5 years ago, tee.
Jesus.
I do still enjoy it a lot. I probably enjoyed it more because I know a lot more context about the world, so I think it's a lot more interesting.
Makes sense to me.
Perhaps that's
Yeah.
all Tanner's missing, just a little bit of context.
Maybe.
That's what it was with Evangelion for me, so makes sense.
You ever get around to watching that last part of movie 2?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god.
Oh, well.
Jesus.
And he maybe never will. He definitely won't. Yeah, my rank is unchanged.
I agree.
Dude, same.
Dude, I over this discussion, I realized I like this movie less than I thought I did, so I'm going down rank to B-.
I don't even know how that's possible, but okay.
You said that one thing about it not being a recap, and that threw it asunder.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I thought that was
yeah.
a joke. I didn't take that seriously.
Yeah, personally, I think you guys are retards, but that's neither here nor there. This movie landed at an A overall.
I'm really carrying this one up.
Alas, Made in Abyss will never be S tier.
Yeah, very funny that one of the recap movies landed lower than the actual fucking, like, high production movie that's, like, critically acclaimed. Funny how that works.
Oh yeah.
Weird how that works.
Our last movie this week, as requested by Dylan, unfortunately, was the 2021 film The Saddness. Please tell us about it.
So yeah, The Saddness is about two high school sweethearts that meet just before school starts, and then they start to go through the trials and... Oh, wait, sorry. I had the memory of this movie replaced by something far better. Yeah, fuck this movie. It's Korean World War Z, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't want to think about this movie. I was physically ill from watching this, so the less I have to discuss it, the better. So Tanner, please give your fun fact, I guess.
Dude, very funny. Not Korean and not very
I didn't mean
similar to
Korean.
World War Z.
I meant... I mean, listen, I'll give my explanation as to why I think that. I actually don't. It's Taiwanese or whatever, I think is what it was.
Dude, you have no reason other than the zombies can run. That's the only similarity in your mind.
Just go on with your fun fact, and I'll get on with it.
Right. Fun fact, this movie only took 28 days to shoot.
Holy shit, that's very fast.
It was all in post-production.
I'm gonna be real and level with you guys. I don't know what I'm ranking this movie.
Fair enough.
Tanner, what are you ranking it?
I'm sitting at an A- right now.
You're a fucking psychopath. Kill yourself, Jackson. What are you ranking it?
Clearly, Tanner's got a screw loose with his ranks this week. I'm giving this a C-.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm giving it D, personally.
That's
Valid.
so interesting.
Yeah, I feel like my reaction to this movie is the same way that Nico feels about Terrifier, except obviously Nico's set on lower. My problem with this movie is that it is well made, but it is so impossibly hard to watch. As I alluded to in the summary, I legitimately... I mentally had to check out of the movie about 40 minutes into it, and then for the rest of the movie, I was physically ill from watching it. I was on the verge of vomiting the entire time. It was not a fun watch for me. I feel like that should speak volumes as to what I should rate this movie. However, I can't... I'm wrestling with the fact that it was, in fact, a pretty well-produced movie. So that's the unfortunate fucked up part.
Dude... I think that's more just a comment on you than on this movie, to be honest.
That's why I'm unsure of what to rank it. I don't think it's the movie's fault that I reacted this way.
The purpose of horror movies is to make you laugh, not to scare you, and I think this movie does that very well. I was cracking up throughout this thing.
You are fucking insane. What is wrong with you?
That is how most horror movie fans watch horror movies. They watch them to laugh.
I disagree, but okay.
They watch them just have a good time, you know? Just have a little J.O. with the boys in the theater.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In this instance, I don't think Dylan's the average horror fan, so I don't know if he can truly put himself
that's
in the
why him
shoes.
saying I disagree is fucking stupid. I'm commenting on something he doesn't have knowledge of.
Anyway.
This movie is kind of bad. Honestly, I think my initial rank of C- is very generous. I think the idea behind this, because this is, to me, a very novel concept. I think it's interesting where it's like people know what's going on with their body, but they have no control over it. I think the explanation of like it affecting whatever fucking system they said, I can't remember exactly what it was.
Limbic.
Yeah, their limbic system is intriguing. I think the setup is interesting, but the character actions they take are pretty goofy, especially like the fucking boyfriend just kind of fucking off for most of the film is pretty weird, and then the resolution's pretty bad too. Honestly, I think the movie's kind of serviceable for what it is up until we get to the scene where the girl gets fucking taken in by the doctor, and I think that movie is genuine dog shit and knocked it down a lot for me personally.
Dude, but I love the doctor character. He's so fun.
I do think he's a fun character, but he's a fucking retard, and he talks way too much. Yeah, it's just a really bad fucking scene to me.
So, audience, as Jackson alluded to, and I'll keep this brief since we talked about it so much on our own, as I was watching this, I thought to myself, this is just like Crossed, which, as I'm sure our rabid fans remember, was a comic book I brought up in the Apocalypse tier list. And lo and behold, the director was inspired by Crossed. In the interview of his that I read, I don't know if he's trying to avoid a lawsuit or something, but he was really downplaying the extent to which Crossed inspired him. I'm like, dude, it's just not possible to downplay. It is so obvious and so on the nose often that it's like, just say, yeah, I really fuck with that comic, and so I wanted to make my version of it. And then the director of this movie did get tapped to make a Crossed movie, so seems like a good pick to me. Yeah. I was also watching this, and like literally within like 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, so this is like an American director. This was not made by an Asian person.
He was Canadian, actually.
He was Canadian, so egg on my face there. And yeah, that's like kind of my overarching thing with this movie. The big thing that's holding it back for me is I'm like, yeah, you just aped this other property so hard. And then couple that with, he also includes a lot of very heavy-handed and poorly aged COVID commentary.
I had a feeling you'd be bringing it up.
They do show, like, masks on the floor and shit a lot.
Yeah, the masks on the floor and that, like, oh, it's a country of people that are like, oh, this virus is fucking bullshit, whatever. And, like, you know, back in 2021, there was an audience for people that are like, yeah, dude, we should be locking down and masking, whatever. But, like, none of that stuff holds up now. So it just looks silly.
I did not draw that conclusion. I don't think I was drawing very many conclusions throughout the duration of this movie, however, so...
I mean, you know, it's obviously meant to be an allegory to COVID.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, outside looking in, yeah, like I had mentioned before, I think it's insane that this movie was released at the height of COVID, but, you know, I thought that was a little bit silly.
What the fuck was up with that wolf cartoon, by the way? I thought that was gonna, like, come back at some point, but no, it just...
That's a student film the director made in film school, so I think it was just kind of a reference to his old work.
Okay.
I think it was fucked up shit to have fucked up shit happen. I think that was this whole movie, to be completely honest.
See, and that's the funny thing, where I agree that it is fucked up shit for the sake of fucked up shit, but that's also just the entire point of the movie, so
I know.
To that extent, I find it acceptable.
That's fair.
Tanner would love a movie where the entire point is shitting into a cup and drinking it. That should be fucking fire to him. At a minimum.
If Made in Abyss season movie 3 was just Bond doing horrible cruelty human experiments for the entire 2-hour duration, he would have fucking gone crazy for it.
Oh yeah.
I think the thing with Made in Abyss is just like the dichotomy between us having child and protagonists and then fucked up shit happening. Like my brain just can't clicked with that, you know? Like, I can't get into it.
We don't know how old Ray is. He could be 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, just to go along with Dylan was saying, yeah, this is just like a bunch of fucked up imagery that's very well produced. I'll give it that. It definitely looks very visceral. I don't like it, though. It's a bit too gratuitous for my liking. However... unlike Terrifier, this film actually had a story, so I have to give it props for that.
What's wild is I knew you were going to say that too. I don't know why, but I was like, at least this movie had a purpose as to why fucked up shit was happening.
That's all you really need, is just some sort of through line. I do think following the girl was entertaining. I liked her little runaway. I don't particularly like what the boy was doing, because mostly him just kind of wandering around aimlessly, which is pretty stupid. But the scenes with the girl were captivating until she gets fucking yoinked by the dude, and then I immediately lost interest. Mm-hmm. But I also agree that it's very gratuitous in what it's trying to show. This is just a movie to show fucked up imagery, and that's basically its entire purpose. The plot is just a vehicle for that one plan.
Yeah, why is it always the foreign films, bro? Why? Why is it always the foreign films?
It's the only way they can get attention, dude.
Yeah, probably not even... wrong.
Do you think the fucking, I don't know, Yugoslavian version of Here Comes the Boom would get any eyes?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Damn.
This movie...
I'm saying that generic, like, films made in other countries will not be watched by anyone, so they have to make wacky, extreme stuff to get noticed.
But you said the director or whatever was American or Canadian or whatever, didn't you? Or does that not matter?
That's beside the point, dude.
Okay. Yeah, this movie had me thinking a lot about what the fucking censorship laws or whatever the fuck you want to call them in other countries are like, because clearly they seem non-existent.
I mean, genuinely, what's like the wildest thing they show in this movie?
Yeah, it's not like they show a skeleton.
I legitimately, when I said I don't want to think about this movie, I don't want to think... I am also not joking when I said I'm glad that the memory of Clanad took over this fucking movie. It's the best thing that could have happened to me this week.
It was like an immediate palate cleanser.
Yeah, I everything I said up till this point was not trying to be funny. I mean everything I say.
Yeah, I don't know. I had fun with this movie.
Clearly.
I was laughing at it. And, like, there have been movies we've seen where, like, really visceral stuff has gotten to me. And this movie doesn't, because I think it doesn't really do anything all that extreme compared to some of those other films, and B, the stuff that is really extreme, they go so over the top that you like it leaves like the realm of believability. Like specifically with a lot of the killing, like there's so much blood where you're like, oh, okay, so we're in fantasy land and I can enjoy this as a piece of fiction.
I feel like the only time where that is really true though is when like that one dude gets stabbed on the train and it's just a fucking geyser of blood. Every other time it seems reasonable enough.
I disagree. I think every time there is blood, it is an insane amount of blood that you would never see in real life.
I agree with Nico. I think it's just the train scene. I don't know, Tanner. I don't know how much I believe you on you saying it doesn't get to you, because you were going off about how on fucking Eraserhead you shouldn't eat during the movie because you were that disturbed by it. Yet when I watched it, sure, there was like weird, gross shit happening, but it wasn't that bad. Yet my reaction, your reaction to Eraserhead is what I imagine my reaction was to this movie, and they do not correlate.
That's fine, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I think the grossest thing in this movie is, like, the guy, like, skull-fucking that girl whose eyeball got ripped out, and they don't even, like, really show it.
I think I was
really liked it, though.
Well...
She liked it eventually, yeah.
Anyway, I think I went, like, unironically numb to this movie at a certain point, because eventually all the fucked up shit kept happening, and I was just kind of, like, out of it. I was done. I checked out of the movie.
Which I think is fair, honestly. I can't say I'm a better man for having watched this movie, but you know, it's another one under my belt, I suppose.
Yep. I'm sorry, I legitimately knew nothing about this movie. I think what it was is I was scrolling through TikTok, and it was just some random movie clip that I found at one point. I was like, oh, this movie looks kind of interesting, and I went into the tags and found the name and added it to the list, because I thought it'd be a good horror movie, and it was not at all what I thought it was. So, rip me, I guess. I don't know.
C'est la vie.
I really do think that this is an interesting concept, though, even if it is just, like, blatantly ripped off from some comic book. But I want to see, like, an actual movie that's, you know, has some effort put into this idea, because I think it's cool for what it's trying to be, but it's just, like Nico said, so gratuitous in what it's trying to show that it just kind of avoids, like, I want a plot that goes around with this personally. The plot is so basic, it's just the girl trying to escape the guys pursuing her, and that's basically the entire movie.
Yeah, the entire series of events is always introduce new location, characters encounter infected, extreme violence. It just keeps doing that.
I just want more to grasp onto there, because I don't know. I just think that the plot is just it's just like missing the mark for what the idea could be.
Unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna get that when the like official movie adaptation of the comic book gets made, because the comic book is very much go to different location, insane fucked up shit happens, and repeat. So
that's how most of movies like this go.
If they ever adapt Crossed Plus 100, which is a spin-off series set 100 years after the infection starts, then maybe we'll get some interesting storytelling stuff, because that's that book I found to be much better story-wise, because it had a story.
Well, Dylan, after all that discussion, did you figure out where you're gonna rank the movie?
Yes, sir! I'm gonna stick to my traditions of how I view each tier, and I'm putting this movie in F+. I will never watch this movie again.
Based, honestly, yeah, I'm sticking with D.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it down. I definitely think I was a little generous by saying C-. Not a crazy amount, though. I do really think the novelty of this is entertaining, and I think it is a well-made movie. Plus, it is just, like Tanner said, it's kind of funny.
I'm glad you thought so.
It's so over the top in what it's trying to present that it kind of like loops back from being like, oh my god, this is crazy to watch, to like, it's interesting. Also, we didn't talk about this at all, too, because I was going to be like, oh, look at Jackson again, fucking talking 10 minutes after we talked about the movie when we're giving ranks. But we didn't talk about this at all, but like the ending, I actually I kind of enjoy the ending. It really does just paint such a bleak picture about what this situation is, and I like movies that don't necessarily have good endings. I think there's room for that in media, and we don't see it super often. So yeah, I'm just knocking it down one rank to a D+.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the ending was fitting for what this film is. Yeah, my rank remains unchanged. I'm still at an A-, and blow me up all you want. I'm in the majority opinion on this film, so...
Oh, wow, look at you. How brave, Tanner. Woo la la.
Yeah, that was... Dale and I are in the majority of the fucking Made in Abyss movie, retard.
Yeah,
True.
I disagreed with this ranking purely on a maybe not such a copaesthetical level with this movie. I think that's just a personal personal reaction to the movie and nothing else.
Tanner, thank God you don't live in Oregon anymore. Dylan would come for you if you did.
I wouldn't, because I'm not gay.
Damn. Understandable. Anyways, this lands at a C-. This is a very...
Where's Terrifier?
Probably around the same...
Terrifier?
I think it's around the same rank.
Terrifier sitting at a C-, the exact same rank.
Yeah, fucking called it. Let's go.
I did give Terrifier a lower rank than this one, and that's based. Honestly, I'm probably going to lower Terrifier.
Hell
funny.
yeah.
Nico loves to hear it.
Speaking of Terrifier, what are you guys picking this week?
What an interesting segue.
Yeah, I'm gonna be picking I'm kidding. So
Oh, there is a sequel.
you know, we finished up with Made in Abyss, but I'm not quite ready to let them anime films go
We're
quite
getting
yet.
another One Piece movie, you motherfucker.
No. I'm gonna be
Oh?
picking a film where it's the only way Jackson's ever gonna fucking watch this series. Gurren Lagann the movie, Childhood's End.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Whoa.
How much of the anime does this cover?
It's like the first half, I think.
Okay.
Crazy stuff, I tell you. Well, boys, it's time yet again for a franchise pick, which means I gotta see if you guys are gonna help me pick a movie by guessing the theme for my last two films, which were Zulu and 300.
History.
Oh, I was gonna say
War.
history. Do I have to...
The answer is Last Stand, so none of you get it.
Interesting.
Damn.
I feel like War is decently close.
What is it good for, though?
I don't care how close it is. I'm the one who made the thing. That's
Give it to him, come on!
no. Which works out perfectly fine because I'm gonna be using my franchise pick to start a franchise
funny.
this week. Because I'm very excited for a movie coming out later this year, and I need to get us to watch the two movies that come before it to set us up for that one.
Oh, boy.
So to kick off, we are going to be watching 28 Days Later.
Oh, I did hear... Yeah, you were super hyped about this. I don't get the hype, but I'm hoping I do after watching.
Potentially. And as for our Patreon pick, it was Waiting, the 2005 film from Slayed by Jay. Thank you. And of course, if you too would like to get your Patreon movie pick, then Tanner's going to tell you all about how you can do that.
That's right, folks. If you just head on down to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish and subscribe to our channel for only $1 a month, you'll get early access to every episode as well as exclusive access to our pre-Guap show. You also get access to the Discord where you can talk to us, request movies just like Slade by Jay did, and you get 500 slime coins, and finally, you get your name read out at the end of every episode. So thank you very much to our patrons: GH, Slade by Jay, Blake, Nedagant, I Love Lesbians, Top Ramen Man, Dylan's Secret Horsecock Futanari Girlfriend, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you very much.
That's right, folks. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Please feel free to ring that bell, like, comment, subscribe, and we will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.